fashion and a trifle uncool. But I can't help it, I'm a romantic fool. It's a habit of mine to watch the sun go down. On Echo Beach, I watch the sun go down.
Hi everybody, my name's Troy Hawes and welcome once again to another edition of My Acoustic Lounge. Today we're going to go back to the early 80s and review a great new wave song called Echo Beach. It was written by a gentleman named Mark Gang and recorded and performed by a Canadian band called Martha and the Muffins. Now, this is probably what would be considered a one-hit wonder, but man, it was a big song in Canada as it peaked at number 5 on the Canadian singles charts. In the United States, it didn't even hit the Billboard Hot 100, but it did chart at number 37 on the Hot Disco Singles. I find that hard to believe because this song is definitely a new wave song and not a disco song. At any rate, these songs charted in 1980. Now, before we get started, be sure to click the subscribe button as I'm always trying to put up new content on a regular basis. In addition, if you like my guitar tutorials and covers, you might actually also like my original music, which can now be purchased or streamed from any one of your favorite online music providers. Simply look up Troy Hawes and you'll find my music there. Now, what we're going to do first is we're going to look at the chords that you're going to need to know to get through this great song. Then we'll review the chord progressions and a little bit of strumming. Today, because this is a new wave song and has all sorts of synthesizers from the 80s that you would expect for such a genre, I'm going to use a great backbeat from Jam Zone. So, if you want to learn a great song by Martha and the Muffins, stick around. We're going to get started right now. Okay, in order to get all the way through Echo Beach, you're going to need to know 7 chords. One of them happens to be a bar chord, and we'll show you that one first, actually. And there are a couple of variations that I do in this song, variations to chords, and I'll show you that as well. The first chord that I want to show you is a B flat. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this one first is because I don't want you to panic. If you're not great at bar chords, this particular chord is only seen at one point in the entire song, and it's actually at the second bridge. So with a little practice for the amount of time this chord is needed in this song, you'll get through it no problem. Let's get to these other 7 chords. The second one is an A minor. There's a D chord. There's an E minor. There's an F. And the 2 chords where I have slight variations to. There's a C chord that you need to know. And there's also a G major. Now, the variations that you'll see me do. In this song, I actually use a C add 9. And for the G chord, I actually use sort of a barred G chord on the 3rd fret. The only difference is that I remove my entire finger from completely barring the 3rd fret, and I just simply place it on the second string, much like how I play the F chord. The reason I'm doing this is because it's an easier transition from the F to the G by simply keeping your fingers in the same pattern but moving them up 2 frets. So, rather than going from the F, completely changing the finger pattern to a G, I go from this F and just simply move it up 2 frets. And that's it. You may also choose to bar the F and the G completely. the F bar chord, and simply do the same thing. Move it up to the 3rd fret. Whatever works for you. At the end of the day, you simply need to know a G chord. All right, let's get into some chord progressions. Okay, we're going to break this into several parts here. There are verses, there are choruses, there are some instrumental parts to this. There's a bridge, actually 2 bridges to this song. And this song also has a really iconic guitar riff. Now, as you know, if you follow my channel, I am no lead guitar player. But this song is such a, or this riff is such an important part to this song. I want to show you how I would play this. So there are a number of parts to look at. Yes, we're also going to look at a little bit of strumming. Let's get right now into the verse.
I know it's out of fashion and a trifle uncool, but I can't help it, I'm a romantic fool. It's a habit of mine to watch the sun go down. On Echo Beach, I watch the sun go down.
All right, that's the verse. Let's now have a look at the chorus.
From 9 to 5 I have to spend my time at work. My job is very boring, I'm an office clerk. The only thing that helps me pass the time away is knowing I'll be back at Echo Beach someday.
Let's now have a look at those 2 bridges. They're slightly different. Let's have a look at them now. Remember, one bridge has that bar chord. All right, let's have a closer look at the instrumentals, the intro and the outro.
Echo Beach, far away in time. 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 Echo Beach.
Okay, let's sit down now and have a closer look. We'll zoom it in, have a closer look at that really iconic lead guitar riff. Okay, that opening lead guitar riff. Let's get into it here. I've seen this played a variety of different ways, but I believe that my version is probably the easiest to play. You be the judge. It's completely up to you. But with that, let's have a closer look here. I'm basically starting on the 5th string open. And this is, of course, an A string. Then I'm going to go down to the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and then open 2nd, and then open 3rd. So again. Then we're going to make the shape of a D chord, okay? So that's 4, 3, 2. Technically, you don't even play the first string. So again. Take your middle finger all the way up to the 5th string of the 3rd fret, and then open 3 and 2. Again, here we go. And that's it. That's how I would play the iconic lead riff in this song. All right, let's have a little look at some strumming patterns. Now, if you watch my tutorials, you'll know that I'm not big on strumming patterns because they just throw the whole rhythm off. I want you to focus more of your time on the chords and the chord transition, as well as the rhythm to the song. After you have those down, a natural strumming pattern will come to you. But for those that need a little extra help, let's zoom in and have a closer look at what I'm doing. Let's have a look. All right, let's look at a little bit of strumming. We're going to review the verse, starting on the A minor chord. And that's it. And there you have it, Echo Beach, performed by Martha and the Muffins. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of My Acoustic Lounge. This is part 1 of a 2-part video tutorial featuring this great song. In a few days, I'll upload a complete cover version featuring the chord charts. Until the next time, keep playing. Music is good for the soul.